Welcome to Monarchist Minute. I'm your host, William Stout, here with Thomas Brightsworth, Watercube, and Frederick. We are here tonight, 2 evenings after the presidential debate, to discuss the fallout and the consequences of what is perhaps one of the most shameful debates in American history. How is everyone doing this evening?
I am doing good, good sir.
I've been processing the end. We are near an apocalypse. We are inching ever closer to it.
Yes, we are doomed.
It's so Joe over.
We are done.
It's Joe
We
over.
are so
No, you know
done.
what? I don't think it's over.
Gentlemen, one at a time.
Wait, do y'all know why I don't think it's over? We've had people talk about how presidential debates need to be nicer again. Like, you see that all the time. We can't have good debates anymore.
Oh, no.
We never did. Andrew Jackson beat his opponent with a cane. The founding fathers will pull guns on each other. We need to go back to that.
It's not that they're not being nice enough to each other. It's just the fact that they're both troglodytes.
Oh, okay. Thomas
it's not that.
Jefferson wasn't?
No, most of our politicians are troglodytes, but like it reminds me of like the old like Soviet joke, like back in the Tsardom, power went from father to son, and now it goes from grandfather to grandfather.
Okay,
that's exactly it. They say that the founding fathers were old, but actually they were young.
Like most of them are like 40s, 50s.
Look, to be fair,
30s or 20s, I think.
I think it was like, yeah.
Well, I can't criticize them because of their age. We have had old rulers who've done very well. I can give a great, like, I'm a Catholic. If I said we shouldn't have any old rulers, I'd be lambasted all over.
Yeah.
But I think it's not about the age primarily. It's about how well you can do in that old age. And I think we know who, like Biden, I don't know how he lasts.
He's a laughing stock.
It's like here's the thing with their age is that most of these older rulers, like outside of like the papacy, which is like a holy position, and
it's technically the head of state.
It's a head of a state, but like it's a little bit different from a like
politics. Yeah, like actual government, like of a modern day empire. It is different. No, it is. I'll admit that. And thank you, Watercube. Thankfully you've defended me, and now I can go on living another day. But basically, what I got out of this is that, one, Biden is ineffective. Just by the debate itself, President Biden's ineffective, and he will not be able to lead a country. I think it's obvious that the only reason the Democrats want him in is because they can control him. And if he dies and has Kamala Harris as vice president or someone else in the Democratic Party, it'll get worse. Or two...
he's already on the verge of death. Like, he's a walking corpse.
I don't think either of these presidents are going to get to a next term in their full health.
I think Donald Trump will. I think Donald Trump may, by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, because he and Biden are a few years off, but still, you have the old age affecting him.
The thing is, the little bit I watched, again, the last election, where Trump claimed that it was stolen from him, and that whole January 6th crap. Trump... Well, first, let's just talk about the election in general. So one of the two main reasons I think Donald Trump lost, well, the main reason, if we're not looking at conspiracy theories here, is what some people have called Trump fatigue. Whether you like the guy or not, whether you voted for him or not, you got so tired of hearing about him nonstop on the news, just day in and day out. And if you keep hearing about that, eventually you're going to want something else. I do think that is one of the main reasons Trump lost. However, because Biden is so much worse in a whole different level, I don't think that's going to be the same case here. Do y'all think Trump fatigue or the fear of having that exhaustive, like, political wars again is going to be a problem in this election?
Like, I feel as if it's not just the Trump fatigue itself. It's just like, I think to a lot of people, outside of people who are already bought in on Trump and fully bought in on Biden, the people that would like, they're just tired. A lot of people are just tired of the system and have become so alienated from the system.
Right.
Yeah, especially the younger generation, as wealth inequality and all that stuff begins to really show.
No, that is true.
In my opinion, what I took from the whole debate is how actually sad it was. And I'll be honest, I felt horrible for Biden. This poor man is up there on stage, and you can tell he's suffering up there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he needs to be in his nursing home.
Well, here's the thing that's like weird about the debate is like a video by Biden released about like 30 minutes after the debate. He's just normal. It's because he's holding the mic and walking around. Like
no, when Biden made the video to like call Trump to debate, I actually learned this. Someone pointed out that the first Harry Potter movie, when anytime they would do a scene, they would cut and then start again because they were feeding people the lines. Like, it wouldn't just be straight scene until, like, the later movies.
Yeah.
When Biden made that call to debate against Trump, like, bring it on, that was the same thing they did. So, it is quite sad.
Well, like, but at least with that, you can at least make the excuse of, editing and doing a pre-made video as a call out or something like that. But even then, all this is just depressing. We've had a good run. We had 300 years. We've had a good run as a nation state.
Well, to be fair,
just wait, we're gonna fall like Rome.
I mean, it's not gonna be like Rome. It's gonna be like the Bronze Age collapse.
Look, to be honest, America is a modern day empire, and I'm actually going to be working with a friend who started a new organization called Young Americans for Peace, which is supposed to be non-interventionist. The reason I'm helping with that is because primarily, as far as I remember in the debate, both were talking about Israel, etc. As far as I've seen, all of the Republicans, as well as half the Democratic Party in the Congress, support funding Israel nonstop. The Secretary of State came out a while back and told Prime Minister Netanyahu that he was going to try and crush any limit to funding Israel. We're seeing that. And again, I'm not making this a place for conspiracy theories, but when it comes to Trump or Biden, one, people say like Biden actually supports Hamas. That's not true. He's been funding Israel too. Trump, I think it's pretty clear he's going to too.
It's Kufi and IAPAC money for both the Dems and the Republicans.
Yeah,
they're both bought out by mostly Kufi, but also IAPAC.
Exactly.
So, God bless the evangelical movement for creating the most rabid Israel supporters because they want to bring about the apocalypse.
Actually, I did figure that out.
Yeah, it's basically what
about Israel, but if that goes into the idea of the Messianic age, which some evangelicals, some are called dispensationalists, but that is besides the point of this. And we can do another talk about Israel another day and the whole theories behind it. But nonetheless, I'm more concerned about the constant funding being given not only to Israel, but to Ukraine, etc. And the fact that when it comes to like the military, they raised the age of the draft so that at all those ages you have to go. They raised it from 18 to 25 to 18 to 26. They also, I'm trying to remember, they officially just set it down in law. It was there before, but they set it down again that women now were a part of the draft.
Yep.
And the funny thing that people are mentioning, but it's actually quite serious, is that their military ads when we were in relative peacetime were not so tough. We're just about being yourself. But now all of a sudden the ads are being more like old school military. I think that's saying a lot for why they are doing that. They want us in the military. Biden and Trump, well, I don't think Biden's doing anything anymore. It's the people behind him. But I don't think either or is going to stop any of the foreign wars that we're funding. And if this military stuff gets worse, they're going to be sending our boys and our women now to war.
Here's the thing, at least with Ukraine, we're just offloading old military equipment to the Ukrainians. We're doing ourselves a favor by getting rid of our old garbage so we can get new stuff to like fight the Chinese with whenever we start to fight the Chinese, because they're not looking at Russia as the threat. Russia's a second-rate power now. What they're looking at is China.
True, but now we're also, again, the Ukraine and Russia war, people went crazy about. This war in Israel, they're even going more crazy about it. It shows no sign of dying down.
Well, it's because like both of the wars have this same interlocking thing of nationalist leaders trying to maintain their hold on power, and they use a word like as soon as the Hamas like Israel Gazan war, while genocide ends, Netanyahu loses power. Netanyahu is way out of there, and he needs this war to maintain his position.
Oh, true.
And he relies on us to maintain his position further because we give him equipment. We're the reason why the IDF is as garbage as it is today. God bless him.
To be fair, I do think Netanyahu is going to be... I don't know how we got into Israel again. Oh, this is the curse of being the extremist Catholic in the group. But basically, as far as I know, I don't think Netanyahu is going to last in office if this war ends. I do think they're going to put someone more extreme on the bench.
No, it's the moderates. There's going to be a huge moderate reaction. They're already coalitioning now in Israel. We're going to get a moderate Zionism, which is still genocidal because Zionism is an ethno-nationalist ideology.
True.
But at the very least, we will get like something that's not going to be doing an overt genocide, just low-key colonization.
My problem is all of our presidents seem to have no problem funding all this, and now with all the military issues like the draft, etc., even the media, it does seem like they're preparing to send us over.
Well,
that scares me.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like America, if we had any scruples about supporting any of these regimes, we would have to deal with our own hypocrisy there, because like America's done some pretty bad things, has done some fairly genocidal things.
Well, yeah, but the problem
we haven't learned either.
That this is the whole reason why we are against republics. It's because they aren't in like objective morality. You can say what you want about moral republics, but they're all based on things can change.
Oh, I'm for a monarchy because I think it's amoral.
Okay. I want to hear William's opinion on what we all just said.
Well, actually, gentlemen, we have a fifth person coming up, a guest who's been waiting a long time to speak, and we've been hoping to get him up here on the bench. So let's go ahead and invite him up. Mr. Bennet HPE, welcome up, Bennet. Come on up.
All right.
What's up?
He is muted right now. Hello, Bennet. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good. Great to finally have you on. I didn't expect you on tonight. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm pretty excited.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel. It's just I didn't think I would get to this point where you guys have do you have decent followings? Or yeah. I'm pretty excited to be here. Yeah. I've had I don't know what to say. I mean, where do we even start? I'm just pretty excited to be here. I've been waiting for a while, and yes.
Well, we're very casual. Don't feel pressured to be overly formal or anything, but all we ask is that you keep profanity to a minimum. If slip-ups happen, it happens. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. Well, right now we were talking about actually we could do a new topic possibly. We were talking about the election, and we're going to have to go back to that eventually. Then we talked about, because I brought it up, the military draft, the war in Israel. We talked about that briefly. But Bennett, from what I know, you run a Christian monarchist channel, correct?
Yep. I'm a big Christian, and I believe that Christianity states that we do need a monarchy to our society to make it better.
Do you mind if I question you on that just a little? And if anyone else here has a question, too, they can. Okay. So this is one claim I constantly hear about a Christian monarchy, and that God doesn't want a monarchy. I know the answer, but I want to see if you get it. So people always quote that God didn't want a monarchy for Israel, and then Israel kept saying we want one, and then God eventually let them. That people use that specific verse, I think it's in the book of Samuel, to say God didn't want a monarchy at all. What would you say to that?
Well, for starters, I don't think God would have wanted a republic either. I think the distinction is not really on what it's a distinction between following God directly and then following mankind. Mankind is always going to be flawed. There's always going to be problems, but even many of the kings, right, as long as the kings were following God's direction correctly, they would be able to go the right way. We saw David. David made some mistakes, but if you look at overall, he did tremendous, right? He followed after God's own heart, right?
Yeah.
And I think it should be on how well are they willing to follow Christ and God? How, if they're willing to do so. And, remember, these are absolute monarchs. They have absolute power. We're not even discussing any kind of limitations. And if that's the worst that we're going to be able to have, I mean, it could be a better situation than, most cases we're in right now. We also have to see back then, right, the context of historical context. It was very different back then.
True,
So
and
you
I
can't really compare it to today.
If I may, I would say, because a lot of people say, but Israel wasn't supposed to have this. Technically, Israel was always supposed to be the exception. And I would say that, well, one, the Gentile nations, there were some very few Gentiles who were called righteous Gentiles, who did worship the true God, but who did follow the king. I would say because Israel was supposed to be after God's own heart and supposed to be the prime example, nothing like the Gentiles at all. They were supposed to be led directly by God. But it doesn't necessarily disqualify monarchy because, again, Israel may be the exception. Exceptions don't make the rule, if you know what I mean. Would you agree to this?
Yeah, I would agree. I would also like to add that if it's not man that's king, it would be God that would be king. And Israel, maybe they made a mistake, and look what happened. God had to leave, and so we have to deal with the fallen state of mankind. And monarchy seems the best way to counter that. Despite you might have some bad kings, but at the same time, we have to look at human nature. And again, like I added before, I think God would rather want a king than a republic. Because vote Christ versus Joe Biden or something like that. Even George.
But
huh?
Yeah, but people would say after that, well, you could have monarchs, for example. Let me think of one like who used Christianity as not a good weapon. Like, for example, King Philip IV, who was called King Philip the Fair, burned the Knights Templar and didn't care about what the church said. He called himself a devout Catholic. Yet he accused the Pope of so many things. He burnt the greatest Christian military order in history. You have other kings like that, too. You have Cromwell, who claimed, and who kind of did a pre-Lockean claim saying, I'm trying to remember the exact thing, the divine right to rebel, that if we win because it's willed by God. And you have Cromwell claiming to be a defender of the faith, who tried to establish that Puritan England, who tried to make it holy. You could have all these kings saying they're Christian or not, but, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Being a Christian monarch doesn't automatically mean you are going to be a moral monarch. We've seen this.
But as chaplain, I agree with Bennett's original point that God's issue against Israel having a king wasn't so much that God was against the idea of a king, more so that God was supposed to be Israel's king. They weren't supposed to have a temporal king.
I agree. I agree. I just wanted to see his reasoning. Personally, we always, again, everything comes in the way of covenants for Christianity. We were supposed to be walking directly with God, and God is our ruler in the garden, but then that broke. Then we had the patriarchs, the judges, and that went to kings. And I do think it does do that slow digression. Like in heaven, we're not going to need a pope. We're going to have Jesus Christ. We're not going to need the Eucharist. We are going to have Jesus Christ, etc. I do think everything goes in a progression or a covenant progression, specifically because God does. It's going to sound a little weird, but God works at our pace, if you know what I mean. Because
I'm kind of following you.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm so freaking tired. But God didn't just immediately actually the flood. It's a whole thing. I'm tired. Someone else talk, please. I am.
Clements, I saw you.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Honestly,
I thought we were going to talk about the debate.
I know. I mean, I
do want to add something on the debate, but I'll sorry. You can go.
No,
I just wanted to yap about Biden being a little off it, Trump being also a little off it, the end of the American nation state in our society, the good things, the joyous things.
Yeah. Actually, I do have something I want to add. I did want to add something. I think this is something not as many people saw, probably because Biden's performance was just that bad. But yeah, you're right. Watercube. Look at Trump. Trump kind of came off more like Biden in 2020, and that's unfortunate. And how I see it, I think it's almost kind of like something draining the life force out of them when you're president. Something with being a president right now. You just seem drained. Look at Obama in 2008. He came in with so much charisma and energy, and now if you look at him after 2015, he just looks tired.
I mean, it is like one of the more taxing jobs that you can have.
Yeah. Running a complex nation state is stressful. Who'da thunk?
No, but the interest. No, okay. just to lighten the mood a little, have y'all seen the visiting angels like Biden memes?
No, what?
No.
Oh my gosh, y'all haven't
What?
seen that? Visiting angels to retirement home. And people would take like these gaffes of Biden like acting very old and someone walking him off with a smile and play the Visiting Angels theme song.
All right.
He's just old. Like, they're both old. Here's the thing: like, either president we elect, unless we somehow end up with the bad timeline of a third party winning, and that means our society is really over.
No. Personally, let's just have someone be Napoleon and save America, become emperor.
Yeah.
I don't even think that would fix it. Like, we have too many got too many issues.
So did France. I mean, France was beheading every single person.
Off the third party, but
We don't need the majority. You don't need a majority. That doesn't work out. You need like 10,000, 20,000 people who are capable and intelligent, and you really need them to be on your side.
That doesn't even sign up with CIA statistics, which you need 3.5% of a population to successfully do a coup d'etat with like that much support. You need at least 3.5%. Anything up, like below that, you're not able to actually operate the nation state after, and the coup will fall in on itself. Yeah, and well, this is like the guidebook that the CIA works with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, listen. As long as you don't turn into like one of those freaking 3%ers, you gotta deal with those people. They're not reasonable people.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just like quoting the statistic on like.
I know. I'm just saying. Well, that makes sense though. Of course, what the 3%ers believe is a little bit different, but you know.
Yeah, the 3%ers are talking about the 3% of like gun owners that own like over the majority of guns. That's what.
No. What I've heard it as they believe that only 3% of the nation is necessary to like save the country. 3% of the population is needed to save the country though, and they come off of that due to the fact that I don't know something 3% of the U.S. population fought in the Civil War something.
Oh, okay. That's also malarkey.
Obviously, but that's what I've heard of it though.
Let it be known by everyone that Watercube knows CIA coup d'etat statistics.
Yeah, because they were repeated to me over like the course of 4 years while I was inside the Green Party, and they wouldn't shut up about it.
This is the most.
Wait, you're in the Green Party?
This is the most shocking thing to you?
Who's in the Green Party?
Yeah, I was in the Green Party. I was I was a longtime Green member. And
he was. I think you were the chair of the Committee on Committees, right?
No, I was not the chair on the Committee of Committees. I was that was on the state level. I was in the I wasn't I did like a coup d'etat in the local chapter with some people because one guy tried to do an enabling act or something like that.
Wait, y'all coup d'etat? You coup d'etat to Green Party? Did you bring in like spears with rocks so you wouldn't like use too many like artificial guns and like say we're taking over?
No, we just kind of like bullied this like 50-year-old dude out of the organization. Same with like the Democratic like Bernie Bro person.
I was really hoping this would kind of be like a kind of Napoleon thing, but instead of like.
No, it literally the chapter also then collapsed in on itself right after because the chapter was made up of like 10 people for like a region that has over like 2 million people. Like no, it's the Green Party. What do you expect out of it? It's all gonna be stupid and Plimbo.
That's why I think we should get rid
Sanders to do Green Party king.
Wait, what?
Bernie Sanders.
No. The Bernie Bro intrusion into the Green Party is what started to damn the Green Party to its current state. Because you had all the Bernie Bros come in, and then you had the watermelon movement inside the Green Party, and that's where Howie Hawkins with the 2020 campaign tried to do his little like maneuvering to get the nomination, and that failed in on itself because of course it did, and that's why Jill Stein's running again with the Green Party.
People say monarchists are all autistic. I don't think that's true. I think we're all ADHD.
No, ADHD is a firmly leftist idiosyncrasy.
I can confirm this. That is true though.
Actually.
We get off topic way too much. It's quite funny.
It was still on like kind of the politics though. Like when it comes down to the debate, like how bad that looked, and also the third party options, which we have like Cornel West, we have Jill Stein, and RFK. And probably whoever
and also technically Chase Oliver, but all the polls are actually showing the Libertarians doing worse with him than anyone else.
God bless the Libertarians. They keep trying. They keep on trying.
I know it's funny. They got taken over by the Mises Caucus, and they elect a left wing Libertarian to be their candidate.
No, I used to be a and he said, "Y'all are gonna
he went to the actual convention.
Yeah, and he said, "Y'all are gonna lose unless y'all vote for me." And they all booed him. Then their next pick wasn't so great. Oh, that is.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I used to be a libertarian. That's actually what.
That tracks.
It was a crazy story. Yeah. I watched like Lovadar, right? He was telling about
Lavadar.
he was talking about like monarchy, and I'm like, no, I'm a libertarian. And then so like people in the comments, they were convincing me, and then I just like did more research. I was like, wait, maybe this isn't so bad. Let me actually watch more videos, and then I kind of created a better worldview. I didn't all of his videos anymore, but I kind of do my a lot of research, and I kind of came to these conclusions more on my own. I still respect him though; he's awesome.
Don't feel bad, Bennet. I used to be a PragerU Republican. We all were.
Wait, Will, you went from PragerU to Republican to Yang Ganger to monarchist, or was it Yang Ganger first?
No,
I was from.
You were a Yang Ganger?
I went from PragerU Republican to Yang Gang to monarchist.
Okay, so you had a rational evolution.
I went so I went from basically just kind of just Trumpian populist to monarchy.
Yeah, I went the same way, unfortunately.
Yeah. Although for me, I always had like a little bit of monarchist in me due to the fact that I am of royal blood anyway. So for me, it wasn't really much of a jump. It was more of just me coming to the realization that monarchy is a better system of government.
Look, if I may, I'm going to be completely honest here. I don't think there's a teenage boy alive in our generation who didn't go through a Ben Shapiro phase.
I did not. Yeah, I hated Ben Shapiro. I hated him.
Watercube,
I was obsessed with him. I was obsessed with him back then.
I wanted to bash in his skull. He's what made me think the death penalty was a good and just rational thing to do.
Watercube.
He started that human sacrifice bone inside my soul.
Watercube, you don't count.
Factors, you would be wrong.
Like,
no, actually, facts don't care about your feelings. Okay, what?
Facts don't exist. Nothing exists. I will sacrifice you to the sun.
No, hold on.
And I mean that in my heart.
Your nihilism is coming in again.
It's not nihilism. It's misanthropy. It's different. I believe in things, and I genuinely believe.
Hold on.
I don't want to debate with him, dogs. He killed me in GTA. I can't debate with him.
Okay, if we're gonna make
no. Listen. We can all agree. We can all agree that him ignoring the gay twink, the fascist gay twink.
Oh, Milo Yiannopoulos.
No, not him. No. I'm talking about the other one, the one who the Hispanic one.
Nick Fuentes?
Yeah, Fuentes. When he ignored Fuentes and was like, "Why won't you debate me, Benny? Come on, why don't you debate me? Well, just because it's because you're Jewish. You're the Jew or something."
Okay, Fuentes is also someone who should be sacrificed to the sun, but that's besides the point.
The Jew is the problem, okay, guys? Like, we need to free Palestine and kill off the Jew.
God wants some of us back. God wants some of us back. I'm just saying that.
Pay no attention to all the femboys I have in my search history.
Hold on.
Say it again.
Order. One at a time, please. One at a time.
One.
Right, so is it me?
Yeah, hold on. What were you saying?
We were all doing our Nick Fuentes impersonation. I say, pay no attention to the femboys in my search history.
Look, the movement and its consequences.
Guys, listen. The gay porn was just the Mossad, okay, guys?
Trust.
Okay.
I am not porn addicted. I am trad, and I am a true fascist. Trust.
Okay, you know
what?
He's a trad Catholic monarchist fascist. Yeah.
Wait, look. I'm gonna be real here. As a Catholic monarchist who does study fascism and the church's responses to it, Catholic fascists are idiots. I'm sorry.
Tisa was a little troglodyte. I love
Tisa. I'm not gonna lie. Austrofascism.
Let me finish.
Say it's true.
A lot of Catholics today will praise Mussolini, for example, because they'll claim things like Mussolini went to heaven as a saint, and that's so many things. No.
I got a good question.
Wait, only 1 second, please. Sorry. A blessed had a vision of him going to purgatory and suffering more than everyone else because of his policies, and that he had perfect contrition last minute, and that the blessed should pray for him. 2, there was only one saint that supported him only for a little bit. And that was Saint Padre Pio, but he recanted and stopped supporting him after what Mussolini did. 3, if that's not enough, the Pope wrote 3 papal encyclicals during the reigns of Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin. I can't remember the exact names because one's in German and one's in weird Italian, Latin stuff. One of them was going against Mussolini's fascist Italy, condemning fascism and Mussolini in harsh words. The second condemned Hitler, and of course, no Catholic actually liked Stalin. I am sick of Catholic fascists. People have heard me say it, it's Gallicanism in practice at its fullest form.
Counterpoint, they never excommunicated Tiso.
I actually don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
He was the Catholic priest who was the fascist dictator of Slovakia.
The German puppet.
Wait. Okay, this is where
German
I have
puppet.
to ask again. Because people misunderstand. Again, y'all know that fascism has many different forms. Francoism is not
because
fascism.
it fits.
No. This guy was like Hitler too. He was copying Hitler directly with the Hlinka Party. The Hlinka Party also had a sect of it that was also ran by a Catholic priest that was directly mimicking the SS and wanted to make the Holocaust go harder. Like Slovakia was not anywhere close to a modern thing.
Which nation was this in?
Slovakia.
Okay. Tell me, how much power does
Republic
it have compared to Hitler, Italy, etc.?
Slovakia was just a German puppet, but also like here's the thing: the papacy was aware of what Tiso was getting up to, and they told them multiple times, "Hey, maybe don't. You're gonna kill off political Catholicism. Please do not do this." And then he did it, and they were like, "Yeah, he just did it."
You know why? People always say like the Catholic Church, they never condemned Hitler, the Holocaust. They supported it. They supported fascism as long as they claimed they were Catholic. That's bullcrap. I literally have a book right here, written by a rabbi, mind you, who Catholics claim just hate the church no matter what, saying that Pope Pius XII did more to save the Jewish people than any other nation or religion in the world. Like, Pope Pius XII, the Catholic Church as a whole, under Pope Pius XII, saved up, according to this man and other statistics, 600,000 to 900,000 Jews. The Pope himself planned 3 assassination attempts of the Fuhrer, all failed. And there are reports that they were given fake baptism certificates to try and make Hitler think they recanted their Jewishness, when in reality, Hitler didn't care about religion. He cared about race. And 2, if this Slovakia was a German puppet, and it was under basically Hitler's control, because, that would just mean condemning Hitler as a whole, and Nazi Germany would have been condemning Slovakia as well. One reason that the church didn't just full out say, we condemn Nazism and Hitler, is because Hitler literally threatened the Pope, saying, I'm going to kill every Catholic if you do this. But yet they still went out of their way to. Pope Pius XII also made a whole encyclical, the first vernacular encyclical, mind you, German, which condemned Nazism and racial idolatry.
I think, well, at least with the situation with Slovakia, it's a little different and a little weirder because of how Tiso was a priest who was never defrocked for what he did.
Well, then again, I have to look in the whole history of that. But again, Catholicism has condemned fascism. You cannot...
No, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying I meant that as like a snide counterpoint to begin with.
Right. He may not be defrocked.
Like having read a biography of it.
If what you're saying is true, and again, I've never studied it, I would say, he should have been defrocked. But again, a lot of people use stuff like this because they don't know actual how theology works. They say stuff like that in order to condemn the church and say the church is evil. When in reality, no, we have made mistakes when it comes to that stuff. That's not under the realm of infallibility. Sorry, I got a little passionate.
No. I was just messing with you to begin with to bring up Tiso. I was like, get owned, buddy. Get trolled, liberal.
No,
I was nothing by it.
I'm so used to debating about fascism, it just gets to you.
Okay, I read the full book on the guy, and it just gets each step of the way, they're all idiots. It's like watching a car crash or watching an episode of It's Always Sunny. Like,
are you talking about the guy?
I'm talking about Tiso's Slovakia. Like the entire Hlinka party was just like an episode of Always Sunny. It's like Hlinka hired these 2 guys because he thought he could trust them. They turned out to be Hungarian spies. Like almost like half the party was just Hungarian.
Well, to be fair, if Slovakia was like that, then that means they had a very little
European democracy.
I don't understand how Hlinka became a bishop. Like with that level of intelligence.
Yes,
Some
the
of us
epicenter
laugh
of liberal democracy in Hungary.
Well,
Deported.
Yeah, I'll say this. If Slovakia was that unstable in its government, I can see why the church didn't go out of its way to just like write a whole encyclical and condemn them. Germany had a much better chance of surviving longer.
It wasn't the state that was unstable. I was more just talking about the formation of the party before they took power, which is when the church started getting on their ass about how the Lincoln Party was acting. It was just it's interesting history. That's all I'm saying, and it's funny history. It's not me trying to make any moral statement about the church. Just keep that in mind.
Sorry, I'm so used to having to battle both left and right, both Catholic, non-Catholic. It gets tiring after a while. My bad.
Yeah.
No, the amount of times I've had to debate "quote unquote" Catholic fascists, I cannot count anymore.
So, are Catholics good or bad?
I can give. Wait, is the question are Catholics good or bad?
Okay, maybe I said it wrong. I'm just saying it's like Catholicism.
Terrible.
Literally Hitler cubed.
The thing is,
well, there's nothing bad to say about the Orthodox Church.
Matt Walsh
I'm gonna come and get you and sacrifice you, my son.
I'm gonna respond to that a little humorously.
What you say next, or else because Watercube don't get you.
Yeah. Wait. Who's wait?
Frederick, you guys have Maximus a part of your ranks.
All right,
That is
gentlemen,
Maximus, okay?
Hey, I'm gonna play unfair. I'm gonna play dirty.
Anyone? Wait. Who in this group is East Orthodox and who's Protestant? I'm curious.
Me. I'm
Frederick.
me,
Frederick is Orthodox. Me and Will are Protestants. Thomas is Catholic, and Watercube is dancing around the circle.
I'm
whatever confuses me in that moment.
That's why I said you're dancing around the circle.
All right.
Like, when it comes down to it, I just worship the sun. Okay, like
you're literally George Carlin. You're George. He's George Carlin. He's George Carlin.
Like the sun gives us energy more than we need, and so we need to sacrifice to give thanks. Like, come on.
Stop.
Okay.
No, okay.
Totally makes sense.
Human sacrifices will stop.
Wait, I want to answer Bennett's question really quick in a funny way.
The Mayans still living on.
Shush. Let Thomas.
Are Catholics terrible? I can answer that with a good way. Matt Walsh once said that the best Catholic is one who hates himself and thinks he's terrible. And most Catholics think that, Catholic guilt. So therefore, yes, we are terrible, but that's what makes us good.
Okay.
You know what? I like that. That's a good answer. I will take that.
Good.
No, the two sides of Thomas Brightsworth. Well, actually, according to this 1817 encyclical on etc., or we're terrible, we suck. That's why we're Catholic.
Yeah. Like Catholicism is neuroticism embodied, and that's why I love the Catholic Church.
Don't take it easy. No, the reason
Bennet was trying to say something.
I have a question. So, for America, because America has been historically Protestant, if we were to make it monarchist, what would theoretically be the new religion for America? Like, what? Because it's all the
It would. If I had to, I would say.
Let one speak. Let one speak.
I would have to say most likely it would just be general Christian, due to the fact that the religious
demographics.
Yeah, thank you. Demographics are so dispersed in different areas, because you have, the Catholic Hispanics, the Catholics in New England, you got the Protestants throughout the plains in the South. You got the
Baptists in the South.
I already said that. You got the Mormons.
American Islam.
American Islam. No. I wouldn't say that, but okay.
Mormons. No, American Islam is Mormonism, and I respect them for that. They are the ones that have blood atonement, and they are the most American Americans. Like, if you don't come to the United States and you come up with your own funky religion that has its own insanity to it, that's true Americanism right there. And by denying that, you're denying America's soul, the world spirit that imbues itself inside America.
Mormonism
America's
was
new state religion,
Mormonism was
Mormonism.
originally racist.
Like the three religions of America are Nation of Islam, Mormonism, and Scientology.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't say they're wrong though.
You're wrong. You're wrong though. You forgot Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses with the
Oh,
evil
true.
Watchtower Society. That sounds like a villain thing. Like, come on, Watchtower
Jehovah's
Society.
Witnesses- Okay, no. Jehovah's Witnesses are everything unredeemable about Mormonism.
Put on
Minus
therapy.
everything positive.
No,
for
no,
Mormonism.
once again, I put it forward to y'all. Answer me this: why is it the Jehovah's Witness building and the Freemason building on the same block in my town?
I have the answer to that.
They're beefing.
Feeling
They're
it.
fighting with wizard powers.
Yes, they're
The
beefing
Watchtower
with each other.
Society is using their mystical godly shields to hold back the Rosicrucian might of the Freemasons. The
if I
Freemasons,
may.
the servants of America. Our
if-
founding fathers were.
I actually
Coat
want to
your
give a story. I want to give a little story. I actually learned about this in history, and I looked it up. It's pretty true. We all know
It's true.
Joseph. No, this is one thing I've learned. Joseph Smith was the last time he was arrested, the night he was going to be killed. A bunch of men came to see him. Now, what most people don't know is that Joseph Smith was a Freemason. Again, even the Freemasons hated him after what happened, which is crazy. And so he was in the jail, and all the villagers from all around, because he stole a lot of their wives, were literally going to kill him. And it was reported by a good number of them that Joseph Smith started doing the Freemasonic hand signs or the handshakes.
Yeah, the triangle.
Yes, because this was in the plains. There was a lot of Freemasons there. But apparently they were so angry that he stole their wives and was just causing too much chaos. They didn't
He
give
raised
a
him
crap.
up. Raised him up.
No,
You tried to raise
that
him all
story
up,
makes me
bro.
laugh.
They did their good Christian duty.
They
Bro.
no, I despise Freemasonry more than anything. But it's like
Oh yeah.
Catholic. It's like that handshake meme, like Catholics, Freemasons hating Joseph Smith.
What's wrong with the Masons? I love the Masons. Like
I
when
have-
George
I
Washington
I don't
ascended into
trust
heaven.
The Masons.
Hey.
American Civic Religion 2.0.
Backtrack to Jehovah's
Unfortunately, America's. I think one problem with America is one, the individualism. I think goes too far, and then two, I think it's I've heard that they even put the Constitution in some Bibles, which I think is kind of crazy to me. Like America has too much of a connection over the document when we don't realize that it's not just about some piece of paper. It's also about preserving a culture, preserving an identity, and I think that identity is with Europe and with and not just with our own thing. And that means we have to stick with the king, because what's more of a Christian culture with Europe than a king? The king goes by that all.
You're trying
I
to
can
mimic
give you one
Europe.
that-
That Europe deserves to burn for all
No.
intents and purposes. Like death to the
You're,
European, the foul European who undermines America at every turn. They're the reason why the Shah fell. They're the reason.
European monarchy making America great again.
An American monarchy should be American, and American first, not copying the trappings of European.
Well, before we got so off topic, I was going to tell you all
that
my
Nick Fuentes
We don't
speaking,
have
guys?
to copy. We don't have to copy them, but
The,
we
Euro-
have
the
I'm
European Jew?
saying we
You're
are
talking about the
part of the
European
European
Jew?
No, I'm
Shut
talking about the
up,
European
man.
kraut. The
Guys,
kraut.
all right,
the kraut,
we have the
the
European
Polack,
heritage.
the Wok,
Everyone,
the
calm
Ghetto.
down.
Calm down.
Okay,
Alright, alright.
It's great. This
If
came
I
off of
may.
us talking about the debate.
Yes.
If I may.
I think we
Alright.
may all be a little high on something. I don't know. I'm not very energetic right now.
I'm
I don't know
really
what y'all
smoking
are on.
coffee right now.
Hold
I
on.
didn't have anything.
I don't know, but
Or Starburst.
before we got super off topic, I was gonna tell everyone my super good Jehovah's Witness joke, but okay.
Do it.
Oh.
No, do it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. No. Don't tell it. Say it.
Why do Jehovah's Witnesses hate Halloween?
Why?
Why?
They don't like random people knocking on their door.
Just like they do. They do the same thing, but they don't
Exactly,
like people
that's
knocking
it.
on their door.
Usually
You didn't even say
Mormons.
the joke.
It's the Mormons though that are always
I
knocking
had
on
a
the door.
family member who was.
So it's actually both. But someone actually mentioned in the chat that someone mentioned in the chat that Jehovah's Witnesses actually don't have crosses. I actually looked it up. That's actually true.
And
It is-
Jehovah's Witnesses are
it
weird.
is-
What are they iconoclast or something?
Yeah.
No, it's sort of iconoclasm, more so that they believe that the cross is pagan symbolism. It's for the same reason they don't celebrate Christmas, because they think that Christmas is pagan.
Yeah, the many children that have to, every year they don't get to experience Christmas like other kids.
It's so bad.
Guys, the witnesses, the JWs, they exposed us. Every Christmas, Saint Nicholas descends from heaven and sacrifices the children. It's confirmed. Bull crap.
I think you mean emerges from hell.
Krampus, my bad.
Krampus.
I'm laughing way too hard.
Those children deserve to die to help power the sun.
Stop.
The sun.
Praise the sun.
I'm gonna.
The solar anus needs to be fed.
Okay. I'm
Leave the
Trying to hold it.
You're killing me, man. Just stop. You're killing me.
We're gonna need a better podcast. I vote that we
What
have
the hell
a
is
script
going on?
next time.
I came here for
I
a serious
believe-
conversation. I'm learning about sun anus.
I don't even think I believe in what I'm
Not
saying.
even the
Frederick.
weird.
All right. Everyone,
Order in the court.
everyone, hush.
Order.
Okay.
All right,
Hold on,
Thomas,
I
you
lost
were
that.
saying.
Hey,
Thomas,
hey,
you were
guys,
saying.
guys. Next time we should definitely have a script to keep on topic. Just saying.
Right.
That's boring.
Honestly, I both agree and disagree. I agree because we've been all over the place, but I disagree because this is just too much fun.
Oh, true, but keep again.
We need the yap. Getting the yap out is good for the soul.
Yeah,
It's an
we-
excess of energy that our bodies need to release. That excess, that accursed share that needs to be destroyed and sacrificed.
Trust me.
Hey,
Don't
man.
worry. I got an episode coming up where we'll be able to yap for fun without
This
any.
is
Oh,
some.
hey, I got a good topic for conversation. I think I got a good topic we could do. So you know how Redeem Zoomer has that one video where it's like ranking different like arguments for
Oh, no.
Christianity. How would we rank the arguments for monarchy? How would we do that? Like how would you rank from F to S?
That's actually a good
Well,
one.
I'd have to have a list of them first because I don't
Yeah, like
half
you
of
need
them.
a whole
Okay, that's
political list for like
Yeah.
for monarchy,
great.
Yeah.
and like
Okay,
also
I
it
got
depends on what perspective you're
Yeah.
arguing from as
Yeah,
well.
I could
Because like
here,
Yeah, sure.
I'll try and write down some
Okay.
proposed ideas. I could list it down on like a slide sheet or something.
Okay.
Easier way to
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'll-
got one. Okay, I got one. Inbreeding.
Wait, hold on.
Bro.
I'm gonna die. Okay, I have an actually easier way to do this. We don't have to rank arguments. We can rank political works that defend monarchy. Do y'all know the tier list? Just to since we're maybe
Yes,
almost
we
done.
crap.
I think we can do a tier list of this just to end it off with a little fun. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a monarchy book. Y'all decide what tier. Okay, because I have a whole bunch of them. We ready?
All right.
sure,
Yes.
I guess.
One
Yes,
of the
sir.
most famous, Leviathan.
Oh,
I have
totally.
I
Yeah.
have some luck.
Hey, hold on. Okay, let's go in order. Bennett, you go first. Leviathan.
Bro, I got that book for my birthday. I
Rate it.
really like the. Okay.
It's graded.
Well, I haven't finished it, but I think it's certainly it's really interesting. I think it goes through like a deep analysis. It's very high towards the how there's the divide between the general public versus the 1% of people who are very knowledgeable. He's kind of appealing towards a group that's on kind of like a what if altist, but even more advanced. He's that's kind of what he goes for, and
Yes.
he really
Don't say
creates-
what if altist and Thomas Hobbes in the same sentence. You deserve to
Yeah.
be sacrificed to the
I'm
sun.
sorry,
What
I'm
if
sorry.
altist is a sued?
What if
All
altist,
right.
like-
All right.
Bennett,
Next
I think
person.
that's what he
hit
attempts.
the-
That's what he attempts. Whatever. So I'm just saying. I think he goes through this very like he really looks deep into it with a philosophical argument, psychology. He really goes into like really in depth, and I think he, so far of what I've read, he really does put in the effort and really does show it. And I really like the book. I think it's pretty good, and it's very good at convincing you to the point where he's like in my school. He's like it's taken seriously as a legit thesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
What tier?
Well,
Which tier are you putting it on? A tier, B tier, whatever. Bennet.
Definitely.
Bennet.
Well, I don't know, like, comparing with the others, but so far I would rank it like maybe a B or A. You know, I don't know if I would put it S yet because I haven't finished the book.
I'll put it on A tier for now. Okay.
Yeah,
now,
I would say A.
yes,
Yeah, I have like an Excel worksheet. I can like list everything so we can remember.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about, like, once I actually get it set up, doing a little, like, hey, where to start with monarchy readings. I think we should put down our TikTok, actually, if I can get it ready. Now,
Ooh, I don't have TikTok yet.
Yeah.
I should probably
you
get
don't.
it though.
We do. But okay, so here we go.
Chinese
You know what? I'll just
spies.
pick one book for each of y'all. I'll just pick one book for each of y'all to make it easy. I'm gonna give Watercube one he probably won't like. Watercube. Do Politics Drawn from Holy Scripture by Jacques Bousseau.
Haven't read it, so I can't critique it in good faith.
Okay.
I haven't.
Thank you for being on.
Read that one.
Like,
all right. Well, okay.
I'm not gonna judge a book by its cover. Like that, the
haven't
name
read it.
sounds interesting.
I haven't read it fully. I read the decent arguments. I will put it B tier. The only reason is because I like Jacques Bousseau in comparing Jacques Bousseau's Politics Drawn from Holy Scripture and Thomas Hobbes, because they both come at it from completely different perspectives. Thomas Hobbes argues for absolute unquestioned monarchy through philosophy, human reason, etc. Jacques Bousseau argues it purely from scripture, but they both come to the same conclusion. So since I'm the only one who read it, I'll give it a B tier right under Leviathan, because I don't think its arguments are as great.
Yeah.
You know what? I got one for you, Watercube. This should be an easy one. Politics by Aristotle.
Wait, what's the name? Wait, what's the?
I don't read Greek people. I don't trust them.
Understandable.
I read it online. It's pretty good.
I like Thomas, just to list out the philosophers I've read. It's been Marx, Engels, George Bataille, Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
I'm actually gonna
William F. Buckley.
I just
William
drank
F.
John C. Lilly,
Watercube.
Kierkegaard, and Camus.
Milk before this. You're
Kierkegaard's
making me
actually pretty good,
sick.
Like,
I drank milk before this. Hearing all those things in one sentence.
I don't have to reach through the screen and strangle him.
I also read Schlegel. I like Schlegel. I recommend Schlegel. Big ups to Schlegel.
Schlegel.
He was Hegel's a minor rival to Hegel. Schlegel. He was a romanticist and came up with corporatism.
I'm going to commit.
Anybody find it funny that he was rival
That's
to
a real
Hegel?
thing. Friedrich Schlegel. Yeah, Carl Wilhelm Friedrich.
Yeah, they had the same middle name too.
1772 to 1829. He was a German poet, literary critic, philosopher, and ideologist.
Yeah. I like that Schlegel guy. I like the cut of his jib.
I'm tired. I have so much to do. So it's actually 6:52. We have technically I can't count 8 more minutes. Do you want to use those 8 minutes?
I also read Machiavelli. Who else?
I've
Democracy,
read,
the God that
read,
failed.
Well, I've read The Prince.
The Prince is a good one. It's a banger.
Yeah, I like that. Like the thing is, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't read.
Yeah,
I have
I
have a very hard time like getting stuff to click when I read it, which is why like I told Watercube this. I prefer it if you send me a video of someone talking about it, because for some reason that clicks a whole lot easier in my brain. Like I can collect that information easier. But if I'm just reading it off, my brain's like I don't understand any of this.
I love reading. I just can't ever find time to read. It's
I have time to read. I just don't.
Okay. Also, check out LibriVox.
What was it? The Laws of Power.
I do have to go. I have a lot to get done, and
we should finish up next.
Let's wrap this up.
I also have what was it? The book of the Laws of Power.
Another book recommendation from Emperor to Citizen by Puyi.
So, in case anyone here is watching and is able to go through all of this, eventually all of us, or most of the main ones here, are going to be trying to do our own setup. So eventually we can do actual like face recording podcasts. We're working on that. And when that comes, I will be trying, and maybe I'll have the other guys help too, doing a little short on short book review. Like if you're starting out as a monarchist, read this. If you're more intermediate, read this. So keep an eye out for that. I
You
believe
got it.
that's-
Well, I will say one book every American monarchist ought to read is you got to read Star Spangled Crown. You got to read it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Star
in
Spangled.
my opinion, like I'm not saying it's like the best book ever. Like I read it, it's a good book. I enjoyed, but I think it is necessary. Like even because now it comes from a Catholic perspective, and even me as a Protestant, I still can read it and say it's still a good book though. Like I think, like okay, I'm gonna. I like to call Charles Clem. I believe he is the father of modern American monarchism. In my opinion.
Yes.
You disagree with me? Fair enough. But yeah.
Yes.
You got to read him at least once.
All right.
Hamilton is the grandfather.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't forget to read. Don't forget to read Democracy: The God That Failed. I like the fact that libertarian is defending monarchy.
I'd also recommend The Accursed Chair Volume 1 through 3. It's also pretty useful.
Yeah. As someone is like really young, I really would like to read, but Nance, I think summer's the best time I got to, so I better be reading then.
When in doubt, download PDFs and just start reading them on your phone whenever you can.
Yeah,
especially
any audiobook.
If any of you
are
monarchists listening, I recommend Joseph de Meister. I can't say the name correctly. Great guy. You're gonna love him. But anyways, we all need to go. So Will, do you mind closing us out?
I will, but real quick, Bennet, a lot of times, especially for older books, you can find them free audiobooks on YouTube.
Also LibriVox. LibriVox.
What? Have any of you read Lord of the Rings?
Everyone's gonna make fun.
Yeah,
No,
what was his name? Tolkien was a monarchist.
Tolkien. Everyone's gonna make fun of me because I'm a devout Catholic and I'm.
All right. Everyone, calm down now. Let's get to the prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
And now join with us in the official Moa prayer. O Lord, thy loving mercy is as high as the heavens. It tells us of thy truth that is filled with holiness. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining us this week on Monarchist Minute. We hope to see you next week. In the meantime, may God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you, and good night.
Good night, y'all.